Hello everyone, Tom with Capo Fetish. Today on the channel, we're going to talk about some epic 70s closing tracks under 2 minutes. I'm going to start off here with a real gorgeous track. Pretty much capped off the career for this duo, this singing duo. Their last album from 1970. I'm talking about Simon and Garfunkel's Bridge Over Troubled Water album, the song called Song for the Asking. Pretty much a Paul Simon solo track. Garfunkel is nowhere to be found on this track. He pretty much is out of the building at this point. Song clocks in at about 1 minute 49 seconds. It kind of foreshadows Paul Simon's early solo career. It's almost like you could hear this on There Goes Rhymin' Simon or his debut album, his self-titled album. Really beautiful track. Great little guitar little line he uses in the opening and at the closing. Some great orchestration going on in the middle there. Really beautiful track. Just almost a near perfect album. Sometimes I don't know if I like this one better or Bookends, but a really fantastic final album by Simon and Garfunkel and a gorgeous closing track. Song for the Asking, Simon and Garfunkel from 1970 from Bridge Over Troubled Water. A really great understated track from an absolute legendary prog rock album from 1973. The track clocks in at 1 minute and 33 seconds. It's called Isle of Plenty. It's the final track on Genesis' Selling England by the Pound album. So this follows just an absolute like epic prog rock track, The Cinema Show. A track that Genesis would play way into their career, even after Peter Gabriel left. It's just a real prog rock workout track. And so as The Cinema Show, is kind of winding down and kind of fading out, Peter Gabriel's voice comes in, and it's really understated, the track. And he's kind of reprising, there's like a reprise of the melody of the first track called Dancing with the Moonlit Night. And he kind of throws in that kind of melody with some different lyrics. And as the song kind of fades out, I don't know, there's just something really, I don't know, I get choked up when I hear this track, when I do listen to this album. There's just, I don't know what it is. I think it's Peter Gabriel's voice. There's like this kind of sorrowful longing in his voice, and the melody is very pretty. So I just love this quick little track that ends the album, Isle of Plenty off Genesis' Selling England by the Pound, clocking in at 1 minute and 33 seconds. Another fantastic closing track under 2 minutes from 1971 off Elton John's Madman Across the Water album is a song called Goodbye. Another just gorgeous track. If I had to pick a couple of my favorite Elton John albums of all time, this would be it, along with Tumbleweed Connection. He was really on a roll in the early 70s, actually from like 70 to 75, the guy just could do basically no wrong. Especially these early albums are really fantastic. So whereas the first side has songs, you know, you've heard a lot, Tiny Dancer, Leave On, the title track, Man Across the Water. Side 2 really offers some real hidden gems like Indian Sunset. Holiday Inn is really cool. Rotten Peaches, All the Nasties. Goodbye just kind of caps it off perfectly. Just 1 minute and 49 seconds. So another really cool closer, epic 70s closer under 2 minutes from Elton John. Goodbye from Madman Across the Water from 71. A really quite a change in mood and style here with this particular track. This is the closing track off the Faces album Long Player from 71. And this is following a live, really upbeat, call and response kind of track from the Faces. This track is called I Feel So Good, and it's like over 8 minutes long. And then the closing track is completely different. It's like a 180. It's a traditional acoustic slide guitar version of the traditional track called Jerusalem, played by Ron Wood. Just fantastic. I like when there's like this mood change in an album, right? You've got this party track right before it. It's really uplifting. And then you've got this kind of more beautiful, kind of slightly somber track to end the album. And his playing, I think Ron Wood is one of the great slide players of all time in rock. He just really just hits all those right spots. And this version of Jerusalem is just fantastic. It comes in at 1 minute and 55 seconds. It's pretty much just a Ron Wood slide guitar showcase. Other acts in the 70s would cover Jerusalem, like Emerson, Lake and Palmer on Braid Salad Surgery. They would do a really cool version, a prog version of it. But love Jerusalem off the Faces long player, and just a great album. They never really put out a bad album. As loose as these albums are, they're really timeless, and they're just uplifting and life-affirming. The other day, over here at the house, we were watching Harold and Maude. I've only saw little snippets of it through the years. We watched the whole thing. Really strange movie. But I liked it a lot. And through the film, of course, a lot of the songs are featured in the film from Cat Stevens. And this is one of those tracks. This is the finale off his album, Tea for the Tillerman's, self-titled track, clocking in at a whopping 1 minute. Capping off a fantastic record. This is one of his, monumental albums here. Some of my favorite tracks on here, Sad Lisa. I love Longer Boats. I think that was in Harold and Maude as well. Miles from Nowhere, On the Road to Find Out. Tea for the Tillerman, fantastic. Really, really uplifting ending to almost a near perfect album. From 1970, Cat Stevens, Tea for the Tillerman, the track Tea for the Tillerman. One of my favorite albums of all time, and a song that really ends the album on just a very perfect note. It's just Alex Chilton singing his heart out for about 1 minute and 48 seconds, closing out the album, Radio City from Big Star. A lot of cool stuff on this album, just some power pop, some kind of moody ballads. The song before the last track is really kind of experimental, kind of a track that you would hear later on the next album, Big Star Third, Sister Lovers, the track called Morpha 2. And then it goes into I'm in Love with a Girl that ends the album. It's just Alex Chilton with his acoustic guitar. Fantastic. Coming in at, again, 1 minute and 48 seconds. I'm in Love with a Girl from Radio City from the band Big Star from 1974. Here's an album that I've been playing a lot over the past 5 years. It's one of those albums that sat on my shelf for years. I don't know why I never played it, because I'm such a huge Byrds fan and a folk rock guy. But I got to say, this album is one of my most played in the past 5-7 years. And I love the last track called I'd Swear There Was Somebody Here, clocking in at 1 minute and 19 seconds. I'm talking about David Crosby's If I Could Ever Remember My Name, If I Can Remember My Name. Fantastic record with a host of musicians from the era like Jerry Garcia, Joni Mitchell, Neil Young. They're all on this album providing support for David Crosby. Throughout the album, there's nothing real accessible that you would have heard on the radio, but it's really more of like a soundscape of just vocals and just looseness and just good vibes. And this last track, I'd Swear There Was Somebody Here, he's doing an a cappella. There's nothing in it but David Crosby just overlapping vocals, overdubbing vocals, and very ghostly, very haunting sounding. And it just, again, just a perfect ending to this album that's just full of these amazing harmonies. So I'd Swear There Was Somebody Here, clocking in at 1 minute and 19 seconds off David Crosby's If I Could Only Remember My Name from 1971. And a song I wish that had gone on longer than 1 minute and 34 seconds. I love the melody. It's like you just start getting into it and then it's over, but I love this track. Cripple Creek Ferry off Neil Young's After the Gold Rush from 1970. Hearing this track and this album as a child, I think first time I heard this album, I was like in kindergarten. My brother and sisters were playing it nonstop. And I always remember I loved Cripple Creek Ferry. And it's just almost like kind of like a nursery rhyme, the way it flows and sounds and the melody and everything. It's fantastic. One of my faves, Cripple Creek Ferry, clocking in at 1 minute and 34 seconds from After the Gold Rush from Neil Young from 1970. Have any of you seen the movie Lost Angel about Judy Sill? It's a fantastic bio. It's not a biopic, it's a documentary on her life story. I think it was out about 4 or 5 months ago nationwide, but I highly recommend it. Even if you don't know Judy Sill's music, you'll hear it in the film and you may become a fan. The song I'm talking about, though, is off her first album, her debut album, which is a perfect album, perfect seamless album. And the track is called Abracadabra. And it clocks in at 1 minute and 54 seconds. And it's just, there's just those certain albums like Court and Spark, albums that are just timeless, they're seamless, and they just couldn't be any better, right? This is one of those albums. I mean, it's a real lost gem. And I've mentioned it several times over the past couple years on the channel. If you've never heard it, just pull this up on YouTube and listen to this some night, all the way through in its entirety. You will definitely dig it. So the song Abracadabra, coming off just all these amazing songs like Crayon Angels, The Phantom Cowboy, the Lamb Ran Away with the Crown, Lady O, Jesus Was a Crossmaker, Ridge Rider, My Man on Love, Loping Along Through the Cosmos, Enchanted Sky Machines, Abracadabra. Amazing stuff here from Judy Sill off her debut from 71, and highly recommended. Last one today we're going to talk about is the final track on an album that is 50 years old today, one of my favorite albums of all time. Yeah, the cover is kind of not real PC anymore, but it's Schoolboys in Disgrace by the Kinks. The track called Finale. It's basically a reprise of the chorus of the song heard earlier in the album called Education. And it just kind of caps off this just incredible album, this concept album. Their last real concept album from the 70s, before they switched to the Arista label and released Sleepwalker. This is one of their most effective concept albums, I think. From beginning to end, Ray Davies' songwriting is just stellar. And Dave Davies' guitar playing is absolutely, it's making kind of a return, kind of more to the forefront of the sound of the Kinks. His guitar playing on Headmaster, that solo is amazing. I'm in Disgrace, that should have been a single. That should have been a top 10 single in 75. But anytime I listen to this album, I always think I could have saw this tour. My brother and sister had tickets for all of us to see the Schoolboys in Disgrace tour at Cal State Northridge in the gym. Cal State Northridge, California, in the gym. And I was too timid to go. And I still have the ticket stub. But everybody told me that this was one of the best Kinks tours they ever saw. They're like, you blew it, Tom, you blew it. And I did blow it. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, right? But yeah, Schoolboys in Disgrace, Finale, the closer. And it's hard to believe this album is 50 years old. I remember buying this album at I think it was the Warehouse, right when it came out. So yeah, time flies, folks. If you have any epic 70s closers you want to include that are under 2 minutes in the comment section, please do. As always, thanks for watching. And if you dig the content across the channel, press subscribe. It's just free, costs nothing. And we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.